talk about some aspect. We talk about salvation and mainly from where it comes from and how it trickled on down. Okay, so that's what the lesson will be over. We're gonna pray the lesson go out in the word in the spirit of Yah, and we're gonna start in Isaiah 46. Isaiah chapter 46, 9 to 13. This is Isaiah chapter 46, 9 to 13. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yah, and there is none else. I am Yah, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure, calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that executed my counsel from far country. Yea, I have spoken it. I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed it. I will also do it. Hearken unto me, ye soft-hearted, meaning stubborn-minded people, that are far from righteousness. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry, and I will place salvation in Zion, for Israel is my glory. And you know, we'll get to the roots of foundation and how the Most High is dispensing it, and go on from there. But the root of the Most High's foundation is Zion. So I just want to point that out to put this in a chronological order, because it's a trickle down effect with the Most High with things. You know, he's raining things down, and we're gonna understand that as we go on. And remember the end of that verse 13. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry, and I will place salvation in Zion, for Israel is my glory. Now we're going to go to Hosea chapter 5, the whole chapter. Hosea chapter 5. Hear ye this, O priests, and hearken, ye house of Israel, and give ye ear, O house of the king, for judgment is toward you, because ye have been a snare on Mizpah, and a net spread on Tabor, and the revolters are profound to make slaughter. Though I have been a rebuker of them all, I know Ephraim and Israel is not hid from me. For now, O Ephraim, thou committest whoredom, and Israel is defiled. They will not frame their doings to turn unto their Elohim, for the spirit of whoredoms is in the midst of them, and they have not known Yah. And the pride of Israel doeth testify to his face. Therefore shall Israel and Ephraim fall in their iniquity. Judah also shall fall with them. They shall go with their flocks and with their herds to seek Yah, but they shall not find him. He hath withdrew himself from them. They have dealt treacherously against Yah, for they have begotten strange children. Now shall a moth devour them with their portions. Blow ye the cornet, that's like a trumpet, in Geba, and the trumpet in Ramah. Cry aloud at Beth Aven after thee, O Benjamin. Ephraim shall be desolate in the day of rebuke. Among the tribes of Israel have I known not which shall surely be. The princes of Judah were like them that removed the bond thereof. Therefore I will pour out my wrath upon them like water. Ephraim is oppressed and broken in judgment, because he willingly walketh after the commandments. Therefore will I be unto Ephraim as a moth, and to the house of Judah as rottenness. When Ephraim saw his sickness, and Judah saw his wound, then went Ephraim to the Assyrian, and sent to King Jerob, yet could he not heal you, nor cure you of your wound. For I will be unto Ephraim as a lion, and as a young lion to the house of Judah. I, even I, will tear and go away. I will take away, and none shall rescue him. I will go and return to my place, till they acknowledge their offense, and seek my face. In their afflictions they will seek me early. Okay, so we get to understand why is Israel needing this salvation, and we're going to get to the trickle-down effect of this, but it's because they hard-headed, stiff heart, they heart of stone, and this is why they need salvation, because you out there stealing cars, and now you need a good attorney, you need mercy from the judge, you need some salvation now because of your crimes. Okay, and we understand the perverted Satan, perverted everything. You out there hanging out with them people the Most High told you not to hang out with. Okay. Now we're gonna go to Jeremiah chapter 3, 20 to 25. Jeremiah chapter 3, 20 to 25. Surely, as a wife treacherously depart from her husband, so have ye dealt treacherously with me, O house of Israel, said Yah. A voice was heard upon the high places, weeping and supplications of the children of Israel, for they have perverted their way, and they have forgotten Yah, their Elohim. Return, ye backsliding children, and I will heal your backslidings. Behold, we come unto thee, for thou art Yah. Truly, truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills, from the multitude of mountains. Truly, Yah is the salvation of Israel. See, they was out there seeking other means of salvation. For shame hath devoured the labor of our fathers from our youth, their flocks and their herds, their sons and their daughters. We lie down in our shame, and our confusion covered us. For we have sinned against Yah, we and our fathers from our youth even unto this day, and we have not obeyed the voice of Yah. Going on, chapter 4, 1 to 4. If thou wilt return, O Israel, said Yah, return unto me. And if thou wilt put away thine abominations out of my sight, then shalt thou die not remove. And thou shalt swear, Yah liveth, in truth, in judgment, and in righteousness. And the nations shall bless themselves in him, and in him shall they glory. For thus said Yah to the man of Judah and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground, and sow not among thorns. Don't put pearls before swine, metaphorically speaking. circumcise yourselves to Yah. And a lot of people, I was reading this earlier, a lot of people talk about, because this is a precept for the New Testament too. The Most High wants a circumcised heart. He's always wanted that, even from the Old Testament, so it's nothing new. But that doesn't mean you can get out of the circumcision of the flesh too. Still got to get that thing. It wasn't nothing new. The circumcision of my heart has always been there. He always wanted that. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
But we can't forget about the flesh. It's there. There's certain things, you know what I'm saying, we got to do.
Yes.
So, because some people run to that, I ain't got to be circumcised just of the heart. Yes and no. You know, he always wanted that heart circumcised. Right. Circumcise yourselves to Yah and take away the foreskins of your heart. This has nothing to do with a man's rod. This has to do with a heart. So, but, you know, he wants that covenant made too. Ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire and burn, that none can quench it because of the evil of your doings. Okay, now we're going to go to Acts chapter 4 and 12. Okay, so we understand the particular situation Zion had gotten themselves into. You know, they need Yah's anger pacified. You know, it's not the wrath of Satan. It's not the wrath of Satan that they're really needing salvation from. It's the wrath of Yah who Israel needs salvation from. Acts, you know what I'm saying? It's not Satan.
Not Satan.
It's Yah.
You worry about Yahuwah.
That's right. Acts chapter 4 and 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. And we understand that it's Yahushua Mashiach. This is Acts chapter 12.
Acts chapter 4, verse 12.
Yeah, I mean, Acts 4, verse 12. Okay. And I'm just referencing this because we understand the background of the above verses. So it's Yahushua Mashiach that came to be that salvation to pacify, to put Yah's anger at ease with Israel. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else. It was Yahushua Mashiach who was like, let them pass me this one. Let them pass me this one. I got this one. You know what I'm saying?
No wonder I'm not reading right.
Okay.
Shoot.
And now we're going to go to Psalms chapter 3. Chapter 3, verse 8. Psalms chapter 3, verse 8. Salvation belongeth unto Yah. Thy blessing is upon thy people. And I precept this to we understand who he put forth to bring salvation upon Zion, which is Yahushua Mashiach. 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 3. 2 Samuel 22, verse 3. The Yah of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my Savior. Thou savest me from violence. And that was Yahushua HaMashiach came to do. And again, that could be that's mainly the violence of the Most High. You know, the heathens and Satan. That's small time thinking. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's the Most High say He's going to do you hurt. So you gotta remember that. You gotta be saved from the wrath of Yah because you're unclean of your unclean ways, and this is
children of disobedience.
And this is why the Most High continuously tell Israel to circumcise their heart. You know, because His wrath is near. Okay, it's to build up. Now we're gonna go to where is it? John 4:22. John 4:22. Because we have to understand why salvation came. We have to put it's a puzzle that needs to be made sure it's put together correctly. John chapter 22.
Chapter 20.
Chapter 4:22. Excuse me. 4:22. All right. So we're understanding of what's going on in Zion, why they need it, and who's their salvation and whatnot. Now we're going to go to John chapter 4:22 reads, Ye worship, ye know not what we know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. And we have to respect the order of things, and even people in the church world, they have to respect these things, because the Most High is all about order, and we can't jump something and forget something just because it's like an ice cream truck. We all want ice cream, so he's going to cut the line and get in front of everybody who's already there. You can't do that. It's order. And you're going to mess around and, well, we're not giving you any ice cream. You don't know how to follow the rules. So we have to remember these are key things, and these aren't any of the apostles saying these things. And ye worship, this is Yahushua Mashiach saying, ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. And everybody who is having a walk with the Most High through Christ needs to understand what his premise of originally coming down to be a salvation for what and to who. It was a particular people he came down to be a salvation to, and we're going to talk about the trickle down effect in a few too. Okay, now we're going to go to Acts chapter 13:26, and then we're going to go to 13:47. Acts 13:26. 13:26. Man and brethren, this is establishing, and we all have to understand from a technical aspect. Each book of the Bible is written by a Hebrew Israelite, so we must understand where the author is coming from and who the author is speaking to. Man and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham. This is talking about Hebrew Israelites. And whosoever among you feareth the Most High, and those who were in the midst of them who were not of the stock of Abraham, but who were Gentiles in the midst of them. He's talking to them at this point now. And whosoever among you feareth Yah, to you is the word of this salvation sent. So, and we understand this. This is simplified. We understand this is talking about Yahushua Mashiach bringing the gospel. Now we're going to go to 47. 13:47. For so hath Yah commanded us, saying, I have sent thee to be a light unto the Gentiles, that thou shouldest be for salvation unto the end of the earth. And I bring these technicalities out for salvational purposes because, again, a lot of people, when they see the ice cream truck, they just want to run to the first of the line. Whoa, somebody's in front of you. You have to do everything in order. And when you're seeking, for technicality reasons, a relationship with the Most High, you want to make sure you find out who his people are, because his people are the ones who were first bought salvation to give salvation to the world, to the rest of the Gentiles. Okay? That's just the order of things. And if you don't do it according to his order, you might miss up some steps and, make things not work smoothly for yourself. Now we're going to go to 10, Acts chapter 16, 16 to 21. And this is going to go into a little bit more detail about this. Acts chapter 16, 16 to 21. And it came to pass, As we went to prayer, a certain damsel possessed with a spirit of divination met us, which brought her masters much gain by soothsaying. So this was a woman who was possessed by an unclean spirit, and she was following, as we will read on, she was following the. Well, she was possessed by demons at this point in time. You know, she might start playing with it, and then she got overpowered by them. You know, she brought out the Ouija board, and things just got out of control. You know what I'm saying? The same followed Paul and us, and cried, saying, These men are the servants of the Most High Yah, which show unto us the way of salvation. You see how this demon on this, and we're going to get to the nationality of this woman in a second, how this demon on this woman with this unclean spirit recognized Hebrew Israelites as the bringers of salvation. These are technical things that need to be brought out. And this did she many days. But Paul, being grieved, turned and said to the spirit, I command thee in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, come out of her. And he came out the same hour. And when her masters saw that the hope of their gains were gone, they caught Paul and Silas and drew them into the market and placed unto the rulers, and brought them to the magistrates, saying, These men being Jews, these men being of another ethnicity, not our same people. And this goes back to the woman that was possessed by this spirit with divination. At this particular time, they were in a region that were not Hebrew Israelite populated. They were Gentile. Yeah, just to simplify, Gentiles, not of the stock of Abraham. And brought them to the magistrates, saying, These men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. And this is going back to the order things. It was the Hebrew Israelites who brought the customs, which aka salvation, to the Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Gentiles who brought salvation to Gentiles. It was Hebrew Israelites who brought it. Because again, when the Most High sent down his angels, he's ordering them to do something for salvation purpose, and we have to respect that. And that goes into the flesh as well. If the Most High sends his chosen seed line to do something for salvation purposes, you can't overlook that, because you're going to make a grievous mistake by doing that. Now we're going to go to Isaiah 26, 1. Isaiah 26 in chapter 1.
Isaiah 26, chapter 1.
Yeah, Isaiah chapter 26, chapter 1.
Verse 1.
Yeah, Isaiah 26, verse 1. There you go. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 1. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. Salvation will Yah appoint for walls and bulwark. I don't know what that means.
It's a wall.
Well, okay, yeah, a wall. And for walls and okay, walls. Okay, so this is the grand scheme, of this whole purpose. I just bring out this mini lesson just to, talk about it some more, but just to show you the order and things, because you can't have a house without order in the big scheme of things, and when the word is going out, and the people need to remember the order of salvation and who the Most High is sending out to give out the word. These are big things. I know the world might not think that it's so big at this particular time, but when the Most High says, I'm sending these particular people out to do particular things, that's a big thing. And you don't want to mess that up. You don't want to mess up the recipe. If you mess up the recipe, That's on you. I'm just telling you how the recipe goes. If you want to say, nah, I want to put a little bit Miss Dash in there, that's you. If it don't come out right, that's you. It is what it is. Isaiah 45 and 17. Isaiah 45 and 17. Because if we stick to the recipe, no matter if you're Hebrew, Israelite, or Gentile, you're going to prosper and you're going to be blameless. But if you don't stick to the recipe, you will not be blameless because you're not sticking to the recipe. 45 and 17. But Israel shall be saved in Yah with an everlasting salvation. And this goes back to the root, one of the roots of the beginning of the lesson. His main priority is to save. It's like everybody in here, we all get tired of, we children, we all get tired of in a house. We all get child now. My father works at Dunkin' Donuts, your father works at McDonald's, your father works at IKEA, your father works at McDonald's night shift, and your father's ex-military Marine. Which one of our fathers should be best qualified to come get us?
Come get us where?
We got kidnapped, brother.
Marines.
The ex-Marine, right? Absolutely. And when he come get you, looking for you, we automatically get saved. Because the guy who got all the power and the know-how, and when he come get you, we're going to say, hey,
That's right.
take us with you. We're not going to be at that moment, well, he didn't come for me exactly. I'm happy that I was in somebody's presence that he cared about, so I'm just going to get up out of here with you, brother. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Get on that band.
Yeah, I'm going to get on that bed. Thank you.
Just the Yisrael to the Red Sea, man. They did too when
It's the same thing.
When Yisrael went out of Mesarine,
Mm-hmm.
everybody that was a slave got up and ran too.
Got on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
That's your father? Well, let me go
it's
ahead
I'm
and
trying
roll
to get
with
out of here too. Let's
So,
cut.
I know. So this isn't to mean anything or
All
anybody.
of Yisrael was Yisrael.
Yeah, but we talking about in the general aspect of, in the general aspect of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we must respect that, and just like the scriptures say, ye are made a little bit lower than the angels. You know, there's the Most High does have favorites and particular things that He wants people to do. This. The Most High is not going to tell me to go bind up Pleiades or nothing like that. He's probably going to send Michael to do that. I'm not going to get in my feelings. You know what I'm saying? He ain't asked me to go bind up Pleiades. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm happy in my position. You know what I'm saying? Be content.
Right.
Be content.
Right.
Be content. You know what I'm saying?
Amon.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you start getting yourself in trouble, when you're not content. You got 2 scoops of ice cream. I only got 1. Did you get some ice cream? You know what I'm saying? You know? Don't be, you know what I'm saying? That's when you start getting in trouble, you know what I'm saying?
Be thankful for what you have.
Absolutely, you know?
You know what I'm saying?
You have to give them
Be
like
content with such things you have. Be
Absolutely.
patient with such as your soul.
Absolutely. No, my father couldn't, who works at Dunkin' Donuts, couldn't do what your father did, etc., etc. But I'm thankful that your father, who has all the experience and the know-how, did do that. You know what I'm saying? I can go eat donuts with my father and tell him what happened. Like, man, yeah, go, oh, dude, father came in there with the gun, he started shooting me, it was great. I'd rather tell that story,
Eat a donut.
you know what I'm saying, than us 4 in there, you know what I'm saying, just still kidnapped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, because our parents gonna be eating donuts and talking about they gotta cancel their shift. You know what I'm saying. Your father's gonna be putting the plan together, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'll finish, read that again. But Israel shall be saved in Yah with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end.
Right.
Okay? This is, the next one is going to be chapter 46 and 13. Next one over, 46 and 13.